NFL Predictor here at the ICT Sports Zone Studios. It's week 3 here in the NFL. I have a few segments that I'm going to be doing this week. The projected top 5 players for the fantasy, as well as the AFC West roundup in the past 2 weeks, surprise teams, as well as my predictions. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and go with my projected top 5 players for the fantasy. At 5, I've got DeMarco Murray of the Dallas Cowboys. I think he's going to score around 27.5 points for the fantasy owners out there. Basically because the Cowboys are going to be going up against the Rams. Yes, they have a good front seven, but Tony Romo has been hurt, and he's coming back this week, but I really believe it's going to be a lot of the pound game. He's already had over 50 carries in 2 weeks. I believe that he's going to get some touchdowns, maybe a little bit of the spread out handoffs and things of that nature, but look for him to score big. Andrew Luck, I have in 4. The Colts will be going up against the Jaguars. Their defense is still a little shaky, so I think he'll round out at 28. At 3, I have Tom Brady. Tom Brady usually is on the top 5 lists on fantasy quarterbacks anyways, but going up against the Raiders defense, it's going to be smooth sailing for him this week, I believe. He'll have 28.5. At 2, Matt Ryan. He's going to be playing tonight, and the Bucs defense has been, so at 29 points for the owners out there. And number 1, no surprise, I have Aaron Rodgers at 29.5. The Packers going up against the Lions. Yes, they have a very good defensive line as well, but their safeties are very spotty, and Packers, you can throw the ball to any receiver and make completions, touchdowns, anything of that nature. So those are the top 5 players I have for the Week 3. AFC West has been, pretty exciting division so far. Many people believe that was going to be one of the better divisions in football. The Chiefs have been plagued by the injury bug. They were looking to perhaps threaten the Broncos for the division, but, injuries to Derek Thomas, their starting middle linebacker, really hurt them. He's, very pivotal for their defense, captain. And they also lost to Vito, as well as Jamal Charles. Yes, he's practicing, but, it's hard to come back from those type of injuries when you're a running back and you're very speedy and you need your legs. So how effective he'll be, I don't know. So it's going to be mainly up to Alex Smith, and, he's not really much of a, game changer. He's more of a game manager. So the Chiefs have that going for them there in consideration of their injuries. The Raiders have more problems than just injuries. Their talent is just not up to par yet. They have a rookie quarterback. They went out and tried to get Matt Shaw, but that didn't seem to be working out. He's injured, and he got basically owned in the preseason by this rookie, and he's basically the only good thing going for the Raiders right now. If they get a little bit of talent-wise going around and a little bit more consistency, I think the Raiders could pick up some wins against teams that are snoozing on them. The Broncos, yes, they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl. Yes, this week they have a chance for revenge on that. However, it's going to be in Seattle, and Seattle hasn't lost at home and since they've had Pete Carroll, I believe. So overall, the Broncos' first 2 games, they come out very strong at the gate. They usually score on their first drive, get a touchdown, maybe score 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, but the last 3 quarters, they go to snooze mode until about, the end if they need to finish it off. They can't be doing that against the top teams out there. They have to, keep the pedal to the metal, and they're weakening out really bad, really bad. And then finalize on the AFC West, you have the San Diego Chargers. They surprised the world, it seems, by defeating the Seattle Seahawks after a very abysmal performance with the new center coming in and having a bad snap of that nature against the Cardinals in Week 1. They proved that they can be effective on offense. They're a little still shaky on the defense, it seems, in regards to keeping the points down. But overall, the Chargers, I believe, are a very good playoff caliber team. So look for the Broncos and the Chargers to be dueling it out, I believe, for the division. It's not a lock for the Broncos, as everybody's saying. Anywho, the surprise team so far of the NFL season, I know it's only been 2 weeks. We're entering the 3rd week, but how about them Texans? They have more wins already than they had all of last year. The Texans are, surprisingly at the top of their division, leading when many thought they would be back down in the cellar. The Colts, also in their division, are 0-2. Wow, right? Yes, they're against 2 very quality teams they've lost against, but you'd expect the Colts would have at least gotten 1 win out of that. The Bills, wow, they're leading their division too. They're 2-0. They're playing, with a lot of confidence. They're staying in Buffalo, so I feel, they got a little bit of momentum. The Cardinals, they're in one of the toughest divisions, and they're up there. They're 2-0. They got some very hard-fought victories, so good for them. And last but not least, the Saints going 0-2. That is my biggest surprise. I thought they'd come out swinging, be 2-0, very high-powered offense. Everybody was saying their defense was top-notch, but the Browns come in and abuse Drew Brees. He throws a pick 6. They get embarrassed, wow. So 0-2 Saints, what's up? Anywho's, today is Thursday, so there's Thursday night football. I'm going to try to get my videos going on Tuesday, get my schedule going out there so I can get these videos out there. You guys can view, look, do your bets, whatever you guys got to do, because I know you guys like my opinions. I know my opinions matter with a lot of you. You can take it to the bank, get that money. Got the Bucks traveling out to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons were pretty much a stellar team last year, and their offense didn't perform the hype. This year, I believe that they will be airing it out, even though they have an injury to Roddy White. I believe Julio Jones is good to go. For all you fantasy guys out there that have him on your team, go ahead and start him, because I think he's going to get a lot of targets his way, and he'll probably have a touchdown. I have the Falcons winning this game 28-17. And on to the Sunday games, the early ones. We have the San Diego Chargers traveling out east to take on the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are a hot team right now, but the Chargers are riding the momentum of a hard-fought victory against the Seattle Seahawks. I think, they finally feel that they got a little bit of a flow, a little bit of a rhythm. They finally are executing to what they believe they can do. The Bills, I think, a few times in the past few years, they start out strong, and then they hit a hard team, and then they start to flounder out. So we'll see what the Bills do, but I do have the Chargers pulling out the win, 30-24 in that match. Now we have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are a very hot team. They did start off very hot last year, were a very good team, and then they traveled, had the Chargers take them out in the playoffs, which was, their same song and dance in the playoffs. They don't meet their expectations in the regular season, so we'll see how that goes. But the Bengals, I think, will have no problem this week. I have them winning 28-16 against the Titans. The next matchup will be the Baltimore Ravens, a division battle against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns had a hard-fought victory last week. They should have won perhaps even week 1, so, don't snooze on them. I've been snoozing on the Ravens. The Ravens have been playing pretty good, even with all this, bad attention they've been getting with Ray Rice. I believe the Ravens have what it takes to win this week in a very hard AFC North Division battle in Cleveland, 30-24 Ravens. Another division battle, NFC North, will be the Green Bay Packers traveling to old hard-nosed Detroit and take on the Lions. Be two offensive juggernauts airing it out. You'll see a lot of ground game, though, by the better team in the Packers. The Lions have a very good defensive front, but I don't think it's enough to take out the effective Aaron Rodgers. They'll find his targets. They'll make their big plays. Those wide receivers make great yak, which is yards after the catch. So the Packers, I believe, will be the victors, 36-27. And the theme continues with these division matchups as the Indianapolis Colts take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars continue to be a team that just is building the pieces, and they have not got enough to be a consistent club that I feel can be a threat. The Colts have been underachieving. I think that's a theme that's about to end. The Colts and Andrew Luck will get it going. Heck, maybe even Trent Richardson might pick up 100 yards this game. He hasn't done that. Now they gave up a first-round pick a year ago today to get him, so let's see if they can do that. I have the Colts winning 24-16. Next matchup is going to be the 0-2 Oakland Raiders taking on the 1-1 New England Patriots. It's always hard to go into New England and pick up a victory, especially when you have to rely on a rookie quarterback with no real big threats on offense other than two aging running backs and a wide receiver that was made basically by Aaron Rodgers. So let's see if Carr can use the effectiveness of the limited weapons he has, and maybe the defense will show up in this game, but I doubt it. The Patriots have a very well-rounded approach, and I believe look out for the connection of Tom Brady and Gronkowski, the tight end, to have maybe a touchdown or two. The score will be 33-13 Patriots. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. That's huge because New Orleans is very hard at home. They very need much because they are 0-2, and the Vikings are actually surprisingly the best team against quarterbacks fantasy-wise. That's bad news for some Drew Brees fans out there and fantasy owners, but I still think I'm going to give the edge to Drew Brees, and the Saints are going to pick up their first victory, 30-20. Next, we have the Houston Texans, a surprise team at 2-0, taking on the very poor and perhaps one of the more pathetic teams in the NFL, the New York Giants. The Giants do have Eli Manning, but the offense is a new one and seems to be taking them quite a while to be picking this one up. They don't seem too effective, and their defense is nowhere near how it has been in the past. The Texans will continue to surprise and lead the division with a victory in overtime, 23-20. Next, another division matchup with the NFC East, the Washington Redskins without RG3 being traveling to a very hot team in the Philadelphia Eagles, which they picked up a very, I would say a given by the ref victory on Monday night. The Eagles got. However, I have them winning this. Even with Kirk Cousins performing well, I don't think it will be enough with the Eagles' very quick up-tempo offense, 30-24 in that one. Next, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, Tony Romo's been having some back spasms, so I don't see him being the game changer that he is known to be. Sorry, Des Bryant owners, he'll have a few catches, but I don't think he'll be the prime target. The Rams are without, of course, Sam Bradford, and it seems this season will be at loss. They might be competing for the #1 overall pick. As sad as that sounds, they won't be winning this one. It'll be some field goals for them, 28-19. The next matchup will be the 49ers of San Francisco taking on the Arizona Cardinals, another division matchup. The 49ers had a very tough loss against the Bears, but I think they will pick up a victory against the 2-0 Cardinals. I think their luck will run out against the better team in the 49ers, 23-16 in that hard-fought division. Next up is the injury-plagued Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have also been a team, I think, that if they can keep away from the injuries and continue to build upon what their game plans are, can use Ryan Tannehill's abilities to pick them up some hard victories this season. I think with the injuries the Chiefs have, it would be too much for them in that heat of the Miami has. It will be a late game there, so I have the victory 28-25. And the Broncos, like I said, it's going to be a rematch of the Denver Broncos of the Super Bowl taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are going to be upset because they lost to the Chargers last week, and they don't want to be losing to all these AFC West opponents. They want to be proving that the NFC West is the more dominant. So I believe with their defense being able to control Peyton Manning, as well as the Seahawks offense being able to exploit the weaknesses that the Broncos still have on defense, I think that the Seahawks will win this one 38-24. Now, the Sunday night matchup is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are the team, I believe, in the NFC. Yes, you heard that right. They have the very best defense in the NFL, limiting to opponents average 5 yards every down. That is the best in the NFL. They have the lowest points per game, I believe, around 8 or 9. I have them winning this one 31-20 against a Steeler team that is still looking to find themselves. The Monday night matchup, the last matchup of the week 3, is going to be the Chicago Bears taking on the New York Jets. The New York Jets had a very bad luck last week and perhaps trying to force overtime. They had a timeout mishap and lost that one. There won't be no need for that mishap this week, as the Bears will look to continue their offensive tear with Cutler and his wide receiver weapons as well. And the Jets will lose this one 23-13. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. I want you guys also to check out this new channel that I'm going to be involved in. It's going to be the ICT Sports Zone. ICT is the location that we're at, and we're going to be talking about sports of all kinds, wrestling, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it. It's going to be a fun little thing, we're just going to be talking about any kind of topic, our opinions. It's just going to be a cool little fresh thing to do, and check that out. I believe that you guys will appreciate that if you value this material here. I'd like to thank you again, and I will see you guys again next week. NFL Predictor 316 out.